Hello everyone, and welcome to my first video. A lot of my copy traders have been asking me to post a video like this. I probably won't put too much effort into editing it and making sure I speak perfectly without the ums and without pauses. It's going to be more just me talking, and I'll try to just explain my thoughts. Currently today we are going to be looking at Bitcoin, the Bitcoin chart. This is obviously the most popular cryptocurrency and it is our biggest position currently in our copy trading. So I really do want to go over this and make people understand my thesis and also help them create their own thesis because if I'm being honest, my opinions could definitely be wrong. Someone else's can be right. Some people are betting Bitcoin will go to zero. Cough, cough, capo on Twitter. And you really have to make your opinions for yourself in these days, or actually for anything really. So when we look at Bitcoin, I would like to first mention that the majority of my long term was bought at 26,000. It was mainly here. We got that big boom up. That was, I believe, ETF news. And then we came back down and I bought more here. And then we skyrocketed above this resistance. That was a really, really tough break. We hadn't got above it for a very long time. And at about 35,000 is when I started longing. So I'm not sure how the copy trading works exactly, but I believe that a lot of you guys that are new, which is when most of my copy traders actually started copying me was recently, I'm going to assume that they actually didn't get into this position, and I honestly wouldn't even recommend it anymore. Um, but we've got a great average. As you can see, we've gone up tens of percentages. We should be good to not even get it coming back down to our average. It all depends on what happens because if we look at the daily chart, we are struggling right now to get above the 45,000 mark. And that is a bit concerning to me. As you can see in these other big booms, we kind of have a little correction and we go above, almost retest, and then we finally break above. And even the same here. We have a correction, we test the highs, we come back down, we go above, retest, and boom. So right now we are in the small correction zone. And of course, it is a bit early in the correction zone to make any assumptions. It's like trying to make an assumption here. But basically what I'm seeing is good a good likelihood that we can have a smaller pullback maybe towards the end of the year and towards the ETF news. And this is a huge thing that I want to talk about. The ETF news. A lot of people think, "Oh yeah, the ETF will be great news and it will boom a lot Bitcoin." And in the long term, that is 100% true because as as these firms get approved to now buy Bitcoin with their spot ETFs, more money will flow into crypto. So assuming that there isn't as much selling pressure as there is buying pressure, we will raise in price. But that's over a bit of a longer period of time. The question you have to ask is this move of it being approved priced in? We've heard numbers for quite a while now that Bitcoin has a 90% approval rate. So essentially, the only part that shouldn't be priced in is that extra 10% that we do not get approved. And if we do not get approved, it's almost for sure, it basically is for sure that we will have a significant uh, downward downward movement. But if it's approved, what will happen? I'm going to be almost alone in this idea because a lot of people think it's going to boom. I personally think it's going to boom, but just a little bit. I don't think we'll see massive highs. I don't think we'll see a gain to like all-time highs just based on the news. I think maybe we'll get a move up a couple $1,000s in if it's approved. But the next question is, could it be a sell the news event? I personally don't think so. But once again, you have to make your own opinions. Is this move priced in is what you have to decide. A great example of selling the news was CCIV stock. Let's see if I could if it has the chart here. No, it doesn't. Let me check my Webull. They usually keep their data for a while. Yes, okay, perfect. So we got the chart here. So CCIV was a SPAC, which means they are essentially a company that has a lot of money, and they try to merge with a company, and they purchase a large stake in that company. And so the idea was that they were going to merge with Lucid. And ever since these rumors came out, as you can see, we started going up 33%. This was when I just started investing. No experience whatsoever. I bought at $33. I watched it go all the way up to 73, right? And then I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna get the merger with Lucid. This is gonna go to 100. And my plan was to sell at 100. And so were many other people. And then this was right when the news got released that they actually did merge. Minus 40% on the day. And it just kept going down from there, pretty much. But this is something that you have to understand. You cannot get euphoric. You cannot get so much conviction in things that are unknown. So do not be so certain that when the Bitcoin ETF is approved, if it's approved, that it will skyrocket a lot. That's basically a very important lesson I want to teach you. A lot of new traders get euphoric. They go they buy these cryptos and they go up a couple 100%. They're making loads of money and they're like, okay, this is going to go way, way higher. And then they end up holding all the way. It comes down way below what the price that they bought it at. So that's a very important lesson that I wanted to teach you today. But as for the Bitcoin chart, you can see that we are kind of at a resistance point looking at these candles here. We made that massive move up with not much difficulty. We had the difficulty at 38K. We ended up getting through it. And I think from here, we kind of need a cool down. It looks like we're cooling down a bit, although anything can happen. I don't currently know what's going to happen. No one does. But if I were to guess, I would say we can continue on this uptrend. But I also think at some point we are due for a correction. I mean, these booms that have happened in the past, you always see corrections happening. That's just what happens in the market. When the correction will happen, that's always the unknown. I do think we will go up in the end. I think the ETFs will be approved. I think Bitcoin halving will also heavily contribute to it booming even more, especially in the 2024 season. I think this is going to be a massive year, which is why I'm just going to hold. Even if we get back down to our average, I really don't care. I'm holding this long as the ETFs aren't unapproved, aren't declined. But yeah, those are the lessons today. Those are my thoughts on Bitcoin. That's why I own so much of it. I'm a very big Bitcoin guy. And one thing, oh, sorry, I almost ended the video. One thing I did want to talk about was Ethereum. So large, one of my big theories, I guess it's not a theory, one of my big ideas about trading the markets is you want to buy the good coins when everyone else thinks they're a garbage coin. So take Ethereum, for example. You've been hearing all this hate on it because Bitcoin's been booming. And Ethereum, I mean, like 7% gain on the week, 6% gain on the week. It's definitely not even close to the others. For example, Link, example, AVAX, loads of other examples that have been booming. But everyone's hating on Ethereum. This, in my opinion, is the time when you want to buy, when everyone is hating on it, because that means essentially that the price is not reflecting its value. If assuming that you think it's a good coin, I think it's a good coin. Everyone's hating on Ethereum, and for good reason too. Solana has been booming. Everyone thinks that's gonna be essentially gonna replace Ethereum. Will it? I don't know. But either way, I think Ethereum is way too big to be knocked out of this market. So personally, I think I will be selling a bit of my Bitcoin and allocating some more Ethereum. And that's gonna be it for this video. I think the next video I might make on Doge because, as my copy traders will know, I have a huge position in Dogecoin. And everyone thinks, oh, it's a meme, it's a trash coin. Why do you own so much of it? And I'll be discussing that later. So I hope you all enjoyed. And if you want to copy trade my trades and make money with me, then the links will be in the description. I am on BingX. You, if you have any questions, you can comment on this video on how to sign up and how to copy me. But apart from that, I hope you all have a good day and good week and good luck trading.